540, 61 degrees. Anyone who follows me on social media knows I've been talking about this all week. Just a humble brag there. But Ryan Gosling made a stop in Dallas this week to promote his new movie, First Man. He's playing Neil Armstrong in a way many people have not seen before. I got to sit down with him and some of Armstrong's family to hear what they thought about this new movie.
Only after we master these tasks do we consider trying to land on the moon.
I was just shocked by how little I knew, and how incredible the story really is. You know, in some ways you take it for granted. They almost made it look easy.
Neil.
You really shot it so uniquely from Neil's perspective, it seemed like.
Thank you, because I mean that was exactly the hope. You know, we were right from the get-go. Ryan and I were talking about, you know, can we make an audience feel like they're really in Neil's shoes and his wife Janet's shoes as well.
We have serious problems.
You two work together on La La Land, of course. How has the dynamic changed now after this second film together?
It's gotten a lot worse.
It's just really, downhill, really.
It's been a steady decline.
It's been a nosedive, really. Keep it on theme.
On theme. The irony is we actually met to talk about this movie before we even did La La Land together. So in a way, these movies were kind of operating concurrently for a little bit, and because I always had Ryan in mind for Neil.
Neil, everyone's in agreement. We'd like you to command.
What was it like for you really getting to meet some of the family members and friends and getting that perspective from them on who Neil Armstrong was?
It was invaluable meeting the family. I just couldn't have done it without them. They were so helpful. You know, Neil was very famously very private, and you know, some would describe him as remote. So, you know, there's not a lot in interviews that you can glean from him, you know, on a very personal level.
Mom, what's wrong?
Nothing, honey. Your dad's gone to the moon.
We were involved at the script level and certainly working with Ryan and Claire to give them information about our parents.
What do you think your dad would think about this film?
I think the first thing he would do is recognize the amount of work that they went to try to get all the details right.
We'd watch a movie with him and you know, they'd show like a panther flying, and then they'd show it landing, and he'd say, those are B-52 wheels. And you know, so those kind of details, those technical details would really bug him, and so he'd be happy that they spent so much time getting this one right.
Do you think you're coming back?
We have a real confidence in the mission.
The scene where the family sits together before Neil leaves, was that accurate? Is that really how that conversation went?
We told them about that scene. I don't think that anybody knew that before this film was made.
You know, we got called into the dining room, which was a place that we didn't have meetings. You know, we didn't use that room very much. So when we got called in there, we're like, uh-oh.
What did we do?
What are we in trouble for, right?
There are some risks, but we have every intention of coming back.
But you might not.
The lines that Ryan has in that are pretty much exactly what I remember him saying.
Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin.
What do you hope people will learn about your dad from watching this film?
Yeah, he could be very focused and very intense, but you know, he was in intense situations, and those situations required complete focus. But he could also be fun at home, and we wanted that to come across to people, that we were just an ordinary family whose dad did some extraordinary things.
That interview took place at the Frontiers of Flight Museum near Dallas Love Field Airport. First Man opens today. And Steve and Alberto, I promise after today, I'm done talking about how I met Ryan Gosling.
I don't believe it.
You'll notice she doesn't glow quite as much when she talks to the two of us.
Not at all.
Ever.
Not at all.